Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal of this final week of the preseason with three simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
One of the great physical specimens that's ever played the quarterback position in the NFL is not just the numbers that he generates, it's a threat of what he can do. You have to play him not just for the pass, but for the run. And getting him on the ground in either situation, a very difficult task for any defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. The blitz coming, and down he goes.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And here now the offense for Carolina.
By now you know I love running backs, and C.J. Anderson caught my eye in a big way in 2017. His first 1,000-yard season on the ground, a little bit over 1,000 yards with 1,007, but over 1,200 yards from scrimmage, so you know you can catch it out of the backfield as well. An exciting runner, a powerful runner, and a guy who can be physical when necessary.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Their 36-year-old quarterback brings him out there. He'll be calling the shots in his 15th season now. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you just sit and look at the raw numbers, you actually kick back and nod in appreciation about the career Ben Roethlisberger has had. Went over 50,000 passing yards last year, 8th all-time. But what he wants more than anything, one more run at a Super Bowl where he's won twice previously.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. I want to get your thoughts on James Washington as we see the starting 11 here for Pittsburgh, but he was so good. 5 catches, 114 yards in the preseason game against Green Bay.
And he pretty much swept the honors as the best receiver in the country his last year at Oklahoma State, known as a vertical guy. But he's very strong, too, so he can catch it underneath and turn it into a bigger play. And we saw a little bit of that against Green Bay where he went up and competed against defensive backs and took the ball right away from them. I expect him to be the 3rd receiver for Pittsburgh when they open up the season against Cleveland, behind Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster.
And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
And that means Julius Peppers takes the field at defensive end. How about this? 38 years old he turned in January. But he's the 4th all-time sack leader of active players. Had 11 sacks in 2017. Expect more of the same in 2018 with the Carolina Panthers. Defensive end, outside linebacker, it doesn't matter. Julius Peppers gets to the quarterback.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. With it is Brown. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 0-0 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
First carry for James Conner. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Now it's the backup Rudolph. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Wes Horton in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation, because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Flushed out right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL, because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Justin Hunter, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
When he was a Cowboy at Oklahoma State, he was a threat to do this all the time from any part on the field. He'll still be a threat in the NFL. Mason Rudolph's big right arm delivers his first NFL touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Runs through the... And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff from a great field position. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on third and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw
Still
it. The bad
down.
guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
To throw on second down, Gilbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the second quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
On third down, Gilbert into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Green up, here we go. Green.
Looking to throw on second down. Gilbert over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's third down. To throw on third down. Gilbert. Got a man, it's right. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Set. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
His throw caught right around the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, Gilbert. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from the 6 this time. To throw on second down, Gilbert. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyson Alualu in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Gilbert. This will be caught at about the 6. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gano's kick is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The drive will start with Connor. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle made by Deshaun Hall. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. In our game, the starters are long gone, but still some intrigue to see guys trying to make a late roster push as we get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Rudolph. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 5. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, it's Connor, and he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Lucky 56.
They go play action here on 1st down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Dontari Poe with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Now check. Patriot.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw, Rudolph. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Detroit. Hurry up. Here we go.
On 2nd down, Anderson. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Gilbert. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the fourth and final quarter of play. This quarterback now 5 of 6, very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first down. Throwing on first down, Gilbert. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Encroachment, defense.
And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, Anderson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They run it again with Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
From the gun on 3rd down, Gilbert. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Rudolph looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Looking to throw on second down. Gilbert. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. They'll run for it. Anderson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They run with Connor, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Rudolph. And he's got Rodgers. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tyson Alualu in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And a spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. The Panthers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.